Hey, buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Gilman is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is a deck guide for my budget token druid deck from the Witchwood. Now, right away you'll note that there are actually not any Witchwood cards in this deck, but token druid is an archetype that became very popular in the Witchwood era, often being played at very high legend and tournament as a solid ladder deck as well. And believe it or not, you can actually build a version of the deck on a budget. It's not that hard to build a reasonably good deck, as you'll soon see when we jump into the gameplay. This deck works, and it only costs 1,000 arcane dust or less, as do all of my budget decks right now. So very affordable, designed for new players, growing players, people coming back to the game, or maybe just somebody who's looking to build a quick, easy druid deck to hit some quests on the ladder, just get their daily quests done. This is exactly that kind of deck. This deck's not designed to carry you all the way to the peaks of legend, not even really designed to get you to rank 5. It's really designed for that rank 20, rank 15, maybe the occasional rank 10 player who's just looking to play some druid on the ladder, looking for some different spin, looking maybe to get a feel for what token druid is like before committing to the full deck. So all that said, you might be asking, well, what is token druid? What does that even mean? If you're a new player, you might not be familiar with this archetype. This might just look like a random assortment of cards that don't necessarily do anything together or don't play like you've expected in the past. And token druid decks are really about tokens, and tokens means minions are really cards that are summoned from other cards. So for instance, Violet Teacher summons you lots of tokens. It creates 1/1s on the board, and you can often get 3 or 4 tokens out, and then you can buff them with things like Power of the Wild, for instance, to turn them into 2/2s or 3/3s on occasion. You can use Savage Roar to get lots of damage out of your tokens. And ultimately, that's how this deck will eventually win games, is by building these wide token boards that your opponent eventually just can't resolve, and then using Savage Roar, using other damage cards like Swipe and Power of the Wild and even Mark of the Wild, your hero power, etc., charging Druid of the Claws, you'll kill your opponent via damage. Beyond that, this deck has some interesting survivability and defensive capabilities and is a bit resistant to control decks removal options thanks to things like Soul of the Forest. You can build these wide token boards, cast Soul of the Forest, and then suddenly your 1/1s, your tokens are protected because if they're killed, they sometimes get even better and summon 2/2s. That gives you a second wave, another thing to set up for Savage Roar and Power of the Wild to help you get the damage necessary to end the game. There are other cards in this deck that generate tokens as well. Spreading Plague turns into multiple 1/5 tokens, and in particular, these can set up enormous boards, become very defensive with Soul of the Forest, making this insurmountable force that your opponent just can't remove that you then use to win the game. Even Violet Worm fits into this deck. Pretty crazy inclusion, not the most intuitive thing, not something you see in traditional token druid decks, but it's a very cheap card as a common cost card, only 40 dust here, and not only does it serve as sometimes just a big 7/7 threat that creates some problems for your opponent and does a lot of damage, other times it generates this board full of tokens that you can then utilize with Savage Roar and Power of the Wild and everything else to kill your opponents. Same story. Beyond that, we have supporting pieces here for Druid, but also for token boards. For instance, Frostbolt Warlord, pretty good if you've got 3 or 4 minions out on board. A free basic set card. Things like Starfire, not traditionally seen in token Druid, but it's a spell that activates your Violet Teacher. On top of that, it's just direct damage. This can go face. And again, this deck is eventually about killing your opponent. You got to do that damage. You got to chip away at their health total. This allows you to sometimes just go over the top for that 5 damage and secure the kill. Other cards like Wild Growth, Wrath, Mark of the Wild are there in some part to empower your Violet Teacher. Also just Druid staples that do things. Oaken Summons plus Ironwood Golem. Great combo. Oaken Summons also operates nicely with Violet Teacher. Sometimes you can guarantee and cheat out those Violet Teachers to set up some sort of token play. So pretty crazy deck, and it might not look that intuitive or sensible at first, especially if you're a new player. You might be like, what is going on here? But you'll see, it finds ways to win. It does cool stuff. You need to learn how to play it. Now, we're going to jump into some gameplay eventually, but before we do, I do want to talk about some upgrades to this deck, and let's go ahead and jump into the upgrade section of the video. So when it comes to upgrades, really the first and most important thing I think you need to look at is branching paths. Branching paths is another card that gives you this really great token buff, because as you can see, it allows you to give your minions +1 attack. It works great in this sort of deck. It's a spell that operates the Violet Teacher. It's perfect on curve with Spreading Plague. It's just lots of damage. Sometimes it's card draw in a pinch or life gain in a pinch too. So the flexibility and the positive interactions with tokens are really, 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 really good. And then if we go over to Witchwood, specifically at 4 mana, another epic 4 mana spell that's really good is the Whispering Woods. This is another way to just generate a ton of tokens. You can fill your board with 7 wisps, cast Power of the Wild or Soul of the Forest more commonly, and build another really resilient board that a lot of decks can have trouble dealing with. So another token fuel. And in a lot of ways, Whispering Woods could replace Violet Worm in this deck. They kind of do the same sort of thing. But clearly Whispering Woods isn't much cheaper than Violet Worm. So this is one of the earlier cards you should probably cut if you're looking to upgrade this deck. So those, I would say, are the two most important cards to target as far as specific things to upgrade this deck. But I'm going to be honest, as opposed to like replacing card by card, what you should really do is you should go and you should build an official good token Druid list. And I'll have one linked in the description so you can see what the full total dust cost version of this deck looks like, and you just want to aim towards that, because right now it's a pretty refined list, very solid. You'll want to replace cards in this list that aren't in that final version with cards that are in the final version. I'm not going to run through every one. You can just look at the list, compare, make decisions based on your dust and what cards you think look the most valuable or the most fun to you, and start to chip away at the full version of the list by replacing thing over thing over thing over time, and that'll get you where you need to go. This certainly works for now, but it can be upgraded, it can be improved, it can be better, and if you build a full budget, or excuse me, if you build a full token Druid list, you can play to Legend. That's the kind of deck that will get you to Legend. That is very competitive at the highest tiers of Hearthstone. So this is a good base, a good start, something to build on for that future state of the deck. That said, why don't we go ahead and look at the budget token Druid here in action so you can see this thing working, maybe get a feel for how it plays, see some of the win conditions that you can set up, because it's not always obvious or intuitive, and you do need to play it in a specific way that's very oriented towards damage and very designed to fulfill your outs and look for ways to win the game as opposed to just stay alive or hang around. You need to set up board states that put you in advantageous spots that are capable of ending the game state. So you'll need to watch if you want to learn to play this. I will still not tell you everything you need to know. You'll have to play it yourself, but we can at least get a good start. That said, let's go ahead and jump into some budget token Druid deck gameplay as it was recorded live on my Twitch stream. My wisdom teeth were fully out. They weren't like impacted. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I think it does. Like, it's not as big of a deal. They were already out and chilling. Like, they were reasonably fine for 10 years or whatever, you know, like they weren't causing me any major problems until last week. So I think that kind of indicates that I'm at lower risk for things like dry sockets and probably experiencing less pain than people who had like their literal gums like sawed into to rip out the tooth, right? Because I think I have less of a socket first off, because it's not like a whole tooth is missing. It's just like the little, you know, the little tendrils are missing basically. And so I'm sure I have the easier version of this. I'm probably just a baby. And again, though, it's not that bad. I'm literally streaming, so it can't be too bad, right? I just don't want to take any unnecessary risk for things like what Jerks describes. By the way, Jerks, I actually watched a little bit of your stream yesterday. Last night, that is. My stream was dead. It wasn't working. It kept just ending the stream randomly. I couldn't stop it. I tried 20 times, and it just kept ending the stream. So I ended my stream. I gave up. I said, forget it. We'll try again tomorrow. And I actually came and watched you play some soccer cards for a while, which I have to say was rather fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So thanks for entertaining me with soccer cards, man. It was cool. I kind of want to play soccer cards. It's on sale on Steam right now, so I may finally make the jump. I also bought, I don't know if you guys know, the Steam summer sale's on right now. They've got a sale on like the, I don't know what it's called, the thing that moves Steam to your TV, like the wireless connection, so you can just play Steam games like on any TV that you connect it to that's connected to Wi-Fi. Well, I don't know if every game works, right? But basic games do anyway. So I bought one of those. It's insanely cheap, like $5 cheap. It's like 95% off right now on the Steam summer sale. So I was like, screw it, I'll buy one. That's a really big Twilight Drake, guys. That's a problem. I don't know how to get through that. I don't know. I think we're in a bad spot here. What rank were you when you first started playing Spiteful Mage deck? I think we were like rank 4? Like rank 4, 4 stars or something, or maybe rank 3, 1 star. Wasn't 5. It was pretty close to where I started the season. We had goofed around a little bit, but ended up basically back in the same spot. Yeah, that didn't do anything to us. That's pretty cool. Starfire is not very good yet. I think we'll just Oaken Summons here. And honestly, face damage is our most valuable. Oh, I forgot we had a... Oh, I was thinking that was a guaranteed Ironwood Golem. Probably should have cast Mark of the Wild, to be honest, on the Violet Teacher to make it safer. Because now it's probably going to die. Got a little bit of cough here, guys. Your lesson in budget decks is getting harder to play budget decks. That's probably true, honestly. That's probably true. Jork says it does make it easier, less exposed bone. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, my teeth are just nestled in there, you know, doing their thing, being happy. Okay. Let's see here. God, do we ever just go face for 8? Like, or maybe we Mark of the Wild and swipe and go face for 9? Soul of the Forest right now just doesn't seem that compelling to me. Well, it's actually pretty good, I guess. Soul of the Forest is actually kind of good, right? Do I want this to have taunt? I guess maybe so, just to get some face damage through. I don't know if this is good or not. I'm not confident that this is a great turn. But it potentially sets me up for a lot of damage if we find Savage Roar in particular. Right now we don't actually have Savage Roar. He's also fairly likely to taunt, so that could cause a problem, like Sunfury Protector, that sort of thing. We also put him on the Hooked Reaver threshold, so this could backfire. But it is how we win games, is going wide with tokens and finding extra damage to go face. That's our path to victory, right? And it looks to me like he's maybe thinking about a Hellfire? Defile. Oh my. Yeah, I forgot about Defile, to be honest. The good news about Defile is that it almost kills his 8-4. How much damage do I have right now as well? Does not almost kill his 8-4. He's down to 11, and I have 9 in hand if I get to 10 mana. But we gotta live too, right? It's not as simple as just that. We gotta live. I think we will just Violet Teacher swipe here. Question is, do we trade in or not? I think we trade in.
Pay attention, class.
Just because there's so many ways for a Warlock to threaten this, and I do want to set up to get through the taunt, because we have to get through the taunt. So for instance, this can charge through the taunt. I don't know, though. Not going face makes me pretty nervous. Oh my god, he's down to 8. Draw me that. Oh my god, he's down to 6. Surely he's going to Spellstone here. Has to be a Spellstone. Yeah, okay. That's the only way that made any sense. The only way at all. So, trade into Spreading Plague is kind of intriguing, right? We could also just Starfire this and play like Ironwood Golem. I kind of like that. Oh, we can't. We only have 9 mana. So if we Starfire, what do we have for 3 mana that would be good? Not much. Not much. Mark of the Wild, maybe? How do I not have more mana? I kind of want to save this for face damage. So I think we'll just trade in and Spreading Plague and try to stay alive here for a minute or two. 10 mana opens up a lot more lines. So we'll try that next. Let's see. I am way behind on chat, guys. I'm so sorry. Let me catch up here. Chaco Yeah, you do have to get the dust limit up. Yeah, Moo says in my case it was definitely worst at first and slowly got better, except for the weakening effect of the painkillers. Ah, good to know. Okay. Brody, I love the wisdom spam. There's our buddy Zonok. He says at least your eyes are above average. I do have a very small mouth as well. Small mouth, small eyes. Basically, all of my facial features are tiny. That's my life, guys. Nothing I can do about it. Okay. Okay. Savage Roar is actually kind of okay here. 3/3. We can Starfire to go to 5 and trade here, and face tank that. He's got just a 2/3 left. It's not really what I want to be doing though, is the problem. Does swipe change the math at all? It does, kinda, but not really. I think this is fine. Let's just do it this way. I need to get some damage through, but I can with Druid of the Claw. We can set up with a Violent Worm. We still have the Spreading Plague. We have ways to win this game. I lost the Starfire face. We gained a Swipe face, but that's pretty far off. We could have done 9 face there and almost just killed him outright. I'm okay with that, actually. That's fine, because I'm going to play my Violet Worm. Well, maybe that's not quite so good. Oh, no. Frostmourne is a major problem. Oh, no. I think I'm dead, then. It looks like I'm dead. I can't. That's actually a great setup. I don't have any armor gain. Unless I hit Oaken Summons. I'm just dead. I can only go to 5. I can't kill the Doomsayer either. If I had Wrath, I could kill the Doomsayer and play a taunt. Yeah, I'm just dead. I can only go to 5. Well, that's sad. I could have hit the Doomsayer for 5, I guess, with a swipe technically, but still wouldn't have killed it. So it looks like we're just dead. Frostmourne, too good. Too good. Ouch, jerks. That sounds terrible. I'm not even going to read it because it's horrifying. It's horrifying. Yeah, you seem to be having fun, jerks. It was a joy to see. You guys were you won the game that I watched. You won the soccer cards game. Did you just get a root canal? No, wisdom teeth. Wisdom teeth extraction instead. Don't drink with a straw and don't swish aggressively. Yeah, that's what they said. I'm trying to be super careful about exerting any sort of vacuumish pressure in my mouth. Trying to be okay. Jerk says, Zonehawk, that blue bit badge is sexy. It is indeed very good. It matches his name perfectly. It's quite a milestone, Jerk, so you got a ways to go, buddy. If you want, maybe if Jerks or if Zonehawk eventually upgrades, maybe we'll bump the blue down or something. We can arrange that perhaps. See ya, Thamoa. Appreciate you hanging out. Ever thought of making the inverse of budget decks called wallet decks? We have made all legendary decks before. I guess that's sort of the same thing. What was that sound just now? That was weird. I don't know what that was. Hey, Xeroxium, congrats on the 1080 Ti, man. That's awesome. That's a big move. I'm just rocking the regular 1080. What deck is this again? This is a budget token Druid deck. Your hair compensates for your small features. Thank you, Rodeo. Looking good with the Regis K Wisdom emotes, guys. Love it. Budget meaning low cost. Yes, yeah. It's a less than 1,000 dust is the goal. 1,000 dust or less. We got ourselves an odd paladin. Swipe is good. Oaken Summons can be decent here. We might have some lines. I wish we had a Wild Growth. Just to keep up here with mana, because we got some stuff at 4 in particular we want to start playing. I don't think I want to coin the Oaken Summons either, unfortunately. I would rather coin afterwards in case we get Violet Teacher. I'd rather have Ironwood Golem, to be honest, though. Is this deck winning? Not yet. No, we've only played 1 game, though, so we don't know yet. Wisdom teeth removal is always worse when you're older. Is that true? I've heard that about a lot of, like, just medical procedures in general can be worse the older you get. So I'm inclined to believe it, personally. I want that to be true. That makes me feel better about myself. then the blue would be less sexy. I guess that's true. And, you know, it is good to have long-term goals. Like, you know, if I'm streaming for the next 20 years, these bit badges are going to be much more achievable, right? It's insane in the short term in some ways, but I guess in 20 years, we'll appreciate the bit badges that we have. Everybody's going to have awesome bit badges. Well, that's still presumptive of me to say, but maybe. I don't know the colors myself, jerks. I can't keep track, to be honest with you. Double Blessing of Might. Wow. This one's gonna suck. Oh no, just Veteran. Okay. Well, I can live with that a little more. Divine Favor! Oh, God, it's brutal. Wild Growth, finally. If I...
I've done it.
Hey, Zonok, dude, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Holy moly, man. Appreciate it. It's been a while since I've seen some Zonark bits. I haven't been online. It's refreshing. Thank you, dude. I love it. Thank you. 1,000 bits is awesome. Nice bit bomb. Already on the leaderboard, I think, for the week. This is only my second stream of the week. So, yeah, making the top 3. Very nice. And, of course, the beautiful hydrologist, as always, welcoming the bits here. We could go for Oaken Summons and try to do some crazy Violet Teacher stuff soon, but I don't think it's time just yet. This swipe feels a little early is the only problem. The other question is, do I need to coin a hero power? I think I have to save the coin in case we get a Violet Teacher. It's just too good at swinging the board. What I really need to find, though, is Spreading Plague. I think Spreading Plague is how we dominate this game. 1/5s are generally better than 1/1s in my experience. Limited experience, admittedly, but generally better. Like right now, Spreading Plague would be awfully tasty. I would be thrilled. Oh my god, so is Swipe. Okay. Alright. I can work with this.
Make some room by the hearth, won't you?
We're doing okay.
Don't really have anything clever to say this time around, so what's up?
Hey, Fuzzbuzz, thank you, man. Hey, don't worry. The pressure to always be clever is too great sometimes in society. It's okay to just be. You know, I don't want to have to feel pressure to be clever every time I stream. Sometimes I just want to hang out, be chill, do my thing, be pals with you guys. There's the Violet Teacher. Okay. Violet Teacher coin is 8 mana. Could also Oaken Summons after the... We could Oaken Summons and let's see if we get a Violet Teacher. Because we don't yet have Soul of the Forest. That is where I think, personally, that Violet Teacher becomes very interesting.
Welcome, boys.
But let's see what we get here.
By the hearth, won't you?
Hey Regis,
I think we can
nice
go ahead
to
and
see
do
you
this.
back. Loving the budget decks. Keep up the good work.
I think we
Wisdom
can go
and
ahead and
Tooth
do
or not.
this.
Yeah, I had 2 Wisdom A teeth taken out at the same time. Twice lol took about a week to recover each time.
Hey, Drakenberg, dude, thank you for the 4 months. That's awesome. Big time resubs today. 4 months, 7 months, all amazing. Thank you for the encouraging advice. Hopefully, yeah, I think I'm definitely on the downswing. So we're approaching what, day 4 or 5? A week sounds about right. I have a feeling I'll be totally done. Glad to know nothing crazy or abnormal is happening though. That's always a bit of a relief. Oh my god, that is an enormous board. Oh, Violet Worm ain't gonna get me there. I already used all my swipes and stuff. I'm just gonna be so dead. Ironwood Golem is unplayable, so that doesn't help. Yeah, we're just dead, right? It's 11 and we're at 9, so GG. Could have maybe got out with some Druid of the Claw stuff. The math might have lined up a little bit. No, probably not, because we're only at 9 mana. I don't think we could have. We couldn't have played this, of course, we didn't have it till we played the Starfire. Greybender says, I'm climbing this season generally with a Wallet Rogue deck. I call it Echoes of Legend. It's a Tess Keleseth shell that includes as many legendaries as possible. Nice, man. Face Collector is probably good for that too, right? Just bombing extra legendaries in there. That's got to feel pretty good. We're getting close to this deck every time, but can't quite get over the hump just yet. Kazel Cub says, I had mine out of 30, but I had them knock me out. I was eating normal food the next day, just chewed mainly in the front. I felt like I got a great RNG on my removal. Nice, dude. Yeah, I chose not to get, anesthesia. So I was awake for the whole thing. I mean, I got local anesthetic, of course. Clearly, I didn't just do it. totally aware, but not knocked out, I should say. It was a surreal experience. I was talking about this a little bit last night. Like, you literally can see them ripping the tooth out. Like, you can feel it getting yanked. Like when he pulls, it like tugs your face a little bit, you know, and you kind of like resist a little bit to help. And then you can kind of hear it crunch a little bit as it pulls itself out. It kind of is like, I don't know, it's like, you know, when you eating potato chips or something, you can hear them. It's the same thing getting your tooth ripped out. It was very surreal. It was kind of neat, to be honest. Like, I enjoyed that part of it. Like, it was kind of cool seeing it happen. Distressed me a little bit when they were like putting in the stitches. They like sutured up the holes or whatever. I don't know if they do that always, but they certainly did for me. But it was kind of weird, like watching them literally so into your mouth, you know. That felt strange. I don't know how much I liked that. Is Bloodhoof a must for Spiteful Mage? No, absolutely not. You could add in any sort of mid to late game minion. Leroy would be fine. Any 5 or 6 drop that's just board based. I wouldn't go for a value based minion necessarily. I would probably try to stick to more of a board based minion. What I mean by that is like Bone Drake would be way worse than Cairn, because Bone Drake is more about adding something to your hand as opposed to contributing to the board or killing your opponent like Leroy would do. So just something along those lines. I mean, I don't know what the exact answer is for you. It could be a 7-drop or an 8-drop even. Just something that's annoying to deal with and creates some pressure, essentially. I think 6 is kind of a magic number, though, because it does lead into turn 7. Sometimes you can bait out like hexes and removal with that Cairn that otherwise wouldn't be possible. Alright, we're in the same battle we were last time. Like, that's an early swipe, but I just have to do it. I don't have anything else to do. So we're sort of committed to that early swipe. Hopefully this time we hit the Spreading Plagues, because I think that's what's going to make the difference in this matchup. Like, that's going to be the thing that gets us over the hump, is the Spreading Plagues, not anything else. And we have yet to see one, unfortunately. We're going to get a ton of them when we don't need them in matchups in which they're bad. But enough tooth gore for now. Yeah, good point. You guys probably don't want to hear about that. What server are you playing on? This is just NA, like always. For me, at least. I always play NA. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague. Everybody say it. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague. Savage Roar. I mean, Savage Roar is just so useless to me. It's just terrible. It's just terrible. All I need is Spreading Plague, obviously. Like, Spreading Plague is just all we need. 7 1/1s on the board, and I can't find a Spreading Plague. Maybe I mulliganed it away. If I did, I shouldn't have. I wasn't really paying attention, but I should have kept it if it was in the mulligan for sure. Hey, Passos, how's it going? Hope you're doing well on this fine, what is it today? Friday evening, Friday nights. Well, he did have to trade all those in. That's a good sign. That's good news. I wasn't expecting that at all. He's still gonna have like a full board though. Spreading Plague still be fine. I'd still take a Spreading Plague here. Frostwolf Warlord Hero Power it is. That's fine. I don't love it, but it's something. Spreading Plague. Everybody just keep chanting it till we find it. How is your Wisdom Tooth removal? It's fine. I mean, I'm still hurting a little bit, like a little bit of lingering crappiness kind of feeling, but no worse for the wear. Nothing traumatic, nothing crazy. Alive and well in the scheme of things. Cannot complain. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague. Spreading Plague. I'm gonna love starfiring a 1/1 here. It's gonna feel really good. Alternatively, we could just Hero Power Frostwolf Warlord, I guess. It's about the same difference. Part of me should start thinking about going face, but I can't risk it with level up. Level up just beats me so hard, and it still will, right? Like, level up is still insane right now. Still no Spreading Plague. It's sad. I think it is actually in the deck. Every turn we don't get it, though, it's just worse and worse against Level Up, right? Level Up eventually will beat Spreading Plague. As will Sunkeeper Tarim on the coin here. I think he's on Coin Tarim, right? That's going to be a problem if that hits. He gets the free trade there. Yeah, Coin Tarim, it's guaranteed. They always have it, so don't even doubt it. Like, it's going to happen. What is this? Swipe? He's trading a lot. Ah, nice. That is not a Sunkeeper Tarim. That is beautiful. I love it. That's perfect. Wow. This might be my one chance here to get caught up a little bit on board. Some might wonder why I waited on the Wild Growth, by the way. I thought it was more valuable as card draw than ramp right now. Like, we can do everything we need to do for like 7 or 8 mana. I didn't think ramping to 10 when we were at like 7 mattered, right? It just didn't change that much about our future lines, I don't think. Debatable, of course, but that's how I saw it. He didn't coin first. Huh. What is he thinking about getting off the coin? What is he thinking about he needs to coin there, I think? He must want to coin something. He didn't end up coining anything. That is intriguing, boys. That is very intriguing. I would love to have a Violet Teacher on board right now. Oh my gosh, that would be so good. The problem right now with Swipe is I just don't get to develop anything else. I'll still play a Violet Teacher if I get it here. Another Violet Worm. I didn't realize this is all of the Violet stuff. We have Violet Worms and Violet Teachers. That's kind of insane. Well, this feels miserable, but I think it's mandatory. I'm gonna try to Mark of the Wild it next turn. Maybe I should have went ahead and done that. I don't know. I should have. Well, no, it doesn't make a difference against because he's probably gonna Vine Cleaver me, so it probably doesn't matter. I don't want it to die Vine Cleaver anyway. I would love to play a Violet Worm if I had time, but we just never have any time to do that. Like, there's always a board, and we still haven't drawn Spreading Plague. We'll note. Hey, I take it back. We have. Hey, take it back. And yeah, I'll do it this turn. It's fine. It's not perfect, but with the Soul of the Forest, it sets up a pretty insane board. And Savage Roar.
I finally get to share my 1-year anniversary. Woo.
Hey, Never FK2, dude. Welcome back. That's awesome, man. If we have 4 dudes on board, and that's that makes Savage Roar worth 10 damage, plus 4 is 18. This would be 20, so we'd be close to a lethal setup here. Reporting for duty. Oh, interesting. We don't have lethal yet, right? Savage Roar is not lethal. This will give me a Ironwood Golem, probably. I think I'll just go ahead and trade through one more time. I could also play the Violet Worm, though. No, I'll trade through one more time. Well, I would prefer Violet Teacher, I guess, technically. Yeah, I think I actually like Violet Teacher better here. 4 is a good number. 4 is a good number. This goes to 6, a 3/6. I don't know if it even really matters. I'm mostly just trying to get that dude out on board. I maybe should have still Savage Roared, honestly. I don't know. I think we're set up pretty good, but I may have missed a chance to set up a like guaranteed lethal, or because level up is still a bit of an issue if you get some taunts out of it, right? And I didn't really utilize the attack here. Like, I could have buffed this and killed a 3/2 or something. I kind of missed the damage. I probably should have just buffed this. I wanted to put it on a higher health thing so that the math was more awkward. But I'm not even sure I made it more awkward, because 4 is just as awkward as 6, if not more awkward. So I'm not really sure I helped the cause at all. There's the level up. But with Savage Roar, I think level up is less of a concern, right? I don't know if this is lethal yet, but it's awfully close. So I'm going to do it. And then I think we can even Soul the Forest afterwards for an increased Soul of the Forest buff. Am I better off attacking here first, or... I don't even know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're set up so beautifully, I'm just going for it. When in doubt, roar it out. I like that. That's good math. Never FK2, dude. I'm just flabbergasted, man. Legendary badge. Absolutely amazing. 12 months. You've been around forever, dude. Thank you for the continued support. Unbelievable stuff. You've dropped a million bits. Like, well, not literally, I guess, but a bajillion in my mind. A bajillion bits. So thank you for the love. Hey, Magic Man. Hey, Asaph. Hey, Jack the Ripper. Is it truth that EU is the most difficult server at the moment? I really don't know. I have no idea. I've never really played EU competitively. I would say it's probably not that different at the end of the day. Optimized decks are usually figured out and are shared across regions. So I suspect EU is probably quite similar to NA, if I had to guess. Any way to squeeze more card draw on this deck? Maybe. I didn't really feel like it needed it yet, to be honest. We've had a pretty full hand most of games. It's more about, like, making things line up than it is card draw, I think, personally. You got Wrath, you got Starfire. I guess that's kind of it. Sometimes Wild Growth. I don't know. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's kind of the... You know, things line up. If you have more things, maybe that's the root of the problem. I'm not sure. Against Rogue, I don't think Spreading Plague's quite as compelling. It's usually you're dead by the time it matters. There's a slightly bigger stuff, so... I mean, yeah, UI is probably always good to add to any deck. This deck would be totally fine with UI. Nourish would also be good, right? I'd rather a Nourish than Frostwolf Warlord. There's no doubt about that, but... they just don't fit in the budget scheme, right? So we had to cut them. But yeah, I mean, clearly there's a good budget token list that exists, and there's a reason it runs Nourish. And again, UI is always good. So those would both be very suitable replacements, 100%. Hey, C-Strike, how's it going, man? Is there going to be any arena? Not tonight, no. I'm not going to stream for too crazy long tonight. Still kind of getting back in the swing of things. I'm going to try a bit of a longer stream tomorrow, I hope. Partly depends on how I feel. We will see. But just like another hour or so tonight probably, and then I'll be cutting it. So I don't expect playing... Certainly not any arena. Maybe not even another deck. This might be the last deck we play. Depending on how it goes, maybe I'll bounce into something else before the end. But certainly nothing too crazy different. Killing the Fledgling here is nice. We're still at a reasonable health total. 5 mana, not a really magic number for us, but Oaken Summons is still a pretty reasonable play. I might want to hold it in case I hit the Violet Teacher, though. Like, I'd much rather play Druid of the Claw, for instance. I might even rather play just a 4/4 Warlord. Not even sure that'd be bad. Swipe here might be playable. What is that? Is that an Innervate? He's thinking about playing it. Like... Druid of the Claw works. That's fine. If that's an Innervate, he can Vile Spine this. I don't anticipate seeing that, but he could. Next turn, we can Oaken Summons into a Violet Teacher into Mark of the Wild, maybe. That'd be a really good play. I like that this gives the Violet Teacher sort of a defensive angle. That's not something you typically see. Looks like he's just trading straight through. That means this is gonna... Oh, no, he's not. That's kind of risky. Because I could, like, swipe that now and get an insanely good play. If I had a swipe right now, he would just be cooked. I don't have a swipe right now, so it sucks. But if I did, boy, oh boy. Ironwood Golem instead. Would I rather Hero Power in Face Tank the Cobalt or just get Mark of the Wild on this to take the trade? Let's see, this goes to 8, and we go down to 3 afterwards, so it would eat this. You could also kill the 3/6, leave around a 4/1. My hand is getting very clunky, like super clunky. I don't want to face tank 5 really though, and it's important in some ways to maintain the armor if I want this to attack on a future turn, which I don't think will matter because I think he'll trade through, but so just trade. He has a 4/1 and some other assortment of stuff. Maybe Vile Spine's here, and did we see what the Druid card was? No, it's right there still. Fairly weak development for him as far as the turn is concerned, so swipe would just be so freaking clutch. Please, God, give me the swipe. Please give me the swipe. Please. One time swipe. I don't have anything else to do. I have no turn. Wrath would be okay. Take an Oaken Summons, maybe. But swipe is the dream. Spreading Plague is good too now. Swipe. Okay. The question is, what do I want to swipe? If I attack into the Tark Reaper, I do take some additional damage, sort of for free, right? If I were to swipe a Firefly instead, I don't really get to do anything with my hero power. I guess, just to set up future hero powers, we ought to do it this way. Taking a little extra damage is okay if we set up additional hero powers. Violent Worm is okay next turn, but it's not good. It's not what I want to be doing. It's not what I want to do. What's the win rate? I think 0-2 right now. Yeah, no, 1 and 2. We won against that Paladin, that's right. 1 and 2 so far. I have to believe that's going to advantage us. I don't even think he has a good way to deal with this. Like, yeah, Vile Spine will kill it, and he can spend a 0-mana card here, but his 0-mana cards should not be as scary. Like, maybe Baku is the best thing he can do there. I think Baku... Oh! He got a 1-mana discount. He got the 1-mana discount. Okay. Spreading Plague is still just... Please, God. Spreading Plague into Soul of the Forest right now is unbelievably good. Just insane. Please give me the Spreading Plague. That's all we need to win. Soul Forlorn again is not nearly as exciting. It's like kind of pointless. Soul of the Forest here doesn't even really do anything. I don't see the point of it. Like, yeah, I can do it, but why? Where is Spreading Plague? I run one good card in my deck, and I can't ever find it. Where is Spreading Plague? Please. We draw so many we always have Soul of the Forest, but we never get Spreading Plague. Thankfully, the buff here just doesn't affect him much at all. I may have to kill this just because it has too much attack. I need Spreading Plague, though I'm going to lose. Like, Savage Roar is not enough damage. We have 12 plus 6 is 18. Second? Maybe. True to the Claw is actually very important. Because it might be the only way I can survive here. And I think I do need to kill everything, just in case it makes the difference on damage getting through or not getting through, right? Because right now he has exactly 6. I'm still not gonna have lethal set up though. Crap. He only goes down to 22, and I still only have 12 plus 6 is 18. I'm gonna be 4 damage short. Dire Mole, though, doesn't help him get lethal anytime soon. That's good news. So I'm 4 damage off, 12 plus... I could finally get a full board, though, if I want. Ah, well, that's lethal. Okay. Let's just double check. We have 12, 16... Savage Roar does another 6 is 22, plus Hero Power is 23, so that should be lethal. Okay. Woo! Barely. Goodness gracious. Boy, oh boy. That was a tough one. Barely stabilized. That, Drew the Claw was one of only, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 draws that got us out of that game. We might have had a lethal draw with something else, but... Not Swipe. Swipe would have been 3 damage off. Savage Roar number 2 would have got us lethal. Power of the Wild would have been short. So it was really only a couple draws there that won us that game, and we got one of them, thank God. So Spreading Plague didn't come, but hey, we still managed. We still figured it out. So Regis has been playing since Kobolds and Catacombs. Man, that would be hilarious how I streamed for so long before actually playing Hearthstone. I had streamed an empty deck. How about a wild deck experiment to end the stream? Oh boy. Alright, same dude. I really wanted it last time, but I still don't know that this is that good against Rogue normally. We never saw last time, we never saw like Hinge Clan Thug and stuff. Like that was this Spreading Plague's not very good against Hinge Clan Thug, right? If he goes tall instead of wide, this isn't actually that handy. So I'm gonna mulligan it away. I still don't think it's right. I'd much rather have Oaken Summons, Wild Growth, Swipes, Wraths, that kind of stuff. Honestly, Starfire's fine. We can get by with these sorts of things. Feels good, man, bidding Odd Rogue with a budget deck. Yeah, it's awesome, actually. Feels really good. Very proud. And that makes this deck now 2-2 also as well, which is a great result. Budget token Druid deck is not something you expect here. Well, this isn't even an Odd Rogue. This is Miracle Rogue this time around. So that's going to give us a little bit of a different feel. Sap is much better against Violet Worm. That's a big concern. We may not get bailed out by a Duskfallen Aviana this time either. That was a pretty huge deal last time around. Who could have anticipated the Duskfallen Aviana being what won us the game? Now, aggression is good, but as you can see, my hand is not really lending itself towards a ton of damage. If we had like all Swipes and Savage Roars, I would probably send this as a 4/4 to face. But I want to make sure it lives because I do have the Frostwolf Warlord here, which, you know, I want to make sure these things set up nicely together. 3 damage against a Rogue is not really a good number. SI7 Agent deals with it. I maybe should have sent that face, but just removing options feels good. My next turn looks awkward, though. Maybe Wrath into something. Oh my god, it's Kingsbane. I guess Piper should have queued me in on that too, but now we know for sure. So now we really got something to figure out. Now we do need to find some damage output, because he's going to keep healing through stuff. Sap a little early there. I like it. That's good. That means the Violet Worms are much more likely to stick. That is a very important thing we just saw. That said, I don't know that I can play the Frostwolf Warlord right now. I kind of need to protect my asset there. So I'm going to try to draw some cards. Wild Growth again. Sure. Violet Worm on 8's pretty cool. Second Sap would be a pain. Hopefully there's only one. Is that a yes or no on the experiment? That is a no. That is a no, Seastrike. Someday. Someday, Seastrike. Don't fret. Someday. Someday we'll get there. Budget decks are the priority right now. Maybe in July, Wild will be more of a priority. I'll be thinking more about the new expansion as opposed to the current one. We'll shift into wild a little bit. We'll have some fun. We'll do some crazy stuff. Some wild and crazy stuff. Vanish, yeah, you're right. We do need to think about Vanish too. I forgot about Vanish. Yeah, although if he's vanishing an A-drop, I'm probably okay with that. But Vanish is also bad against our wide boards, right? We probably can't invest anything too crazy into any given wide board state. But there's the second sap. Okay, that sucks that we just lost 8 mana in tempo, basically. Kind of ridiculous. That's why sap is so insanely strong. But we'll be okay. This one's much more likely to hang around now. Double saps. Maybe he vanishes. I don't know. Maybe Vile Spine slays it and accidentally leaves the board and we leverage the crazy board. Who knows? Healing for 3. That's a problem. Oh my god. Savage Roar? Savage Roar anybody? Savage Roar anybody? Well, you know we're gonna get vanished here. I mean, there's no... I'm not gonna go for the... Do I go for a Violet Teacher? How much damage do I actually have? Hold up, I have 12 plus 5. I have 17. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know that I go for it yet, though. I mean, let's make him have it, right? Let's just get a lot of damage in and let's make him have it. Who knows if he has it or not, but let's make him have it. We do have some reload potential, right? Not a ton at the moment, but let's make him have it. We're going to get vanished here, I suspect. We will burn whatever card... Well, he'll probably trade first and then vanish, so I suspect we won't burn a card. But if he doesn't, we might burn... We might burn a card. He needs to trade too, though, because he's at... He's at pretty unfavorable hand spot too. He would have also lost some stuff. So we know that he has another Vile Spine now we need to think about. The question is, how do we do that? Do we just throw out the Violet Worm again? Like, what does he do with the Violet Worm now? Oh, Savage Roar. 1 turn late, buddy boy. So we know he has a Vile Spine. Does he Vile Spine the Violet Worm? Does he run Fan of Knives? Do we just go wide with grubs again? Do I just play like all of these again? I guess this is really bad against Vile Spine. There's not really a reason to do that. Fan and Flurry. Blade Flurry, that's true. I didn't think about Blade Flurry. We have to stick a board sometime, though. If he wants to Vile Spine, he has 10 mana. It would be a bit awkward to cast something and then Vile Spine and then also Blade Flurry. There's not much mana left for that. So Fan would be a little bit easier, but still perhaps a tad awkward. I'm going to go in on this guy. We're going to just keep reloading and hopefully at some point he can't... hopefully he can't deal with it all. What about Grub, Teacher, and Frostwolf? Well, I kind of want to make as many board reload plays as possible. So I'm seeing Teacher as her own, then I'm seeing these as their own, right? Like I'm trying to split them into as many different versions. Spreading Plague could be one, Violet Teacher could be one, these 4 could all be one. I want to like make as many as I can separately, right? Make them all unique. This is really bad against Vanish, so we need to save this for a post-Vanish sort of scenario. I guess we'll just play another big dude here. Valera is incredibly nerve-wracking. I don't know how to navigate this one. We could maybe play like 1 grub. No, I'm not even gonna play a grub. Just gonna play this in here. Let's just hang tight. We could Wrath. Try to find a card. Is there any card I really want? Doesn't feel like it. I'm gonna hold the Wrath to maybe buff the Violet Teacher, or to use with the Violet Teacher, I should say. If I do though, right now, if I get vanished, I lose the Warlord. I guess that's okay though. We'll see. He's only healing for 3, so that might be okay. Like, he's not healing a ton at the moment, so we have time to find damage. He's at 24 though. That's still a big hill to climb. Backstab into thing, into fan, I'm guessing it looks like to me. Into trade. Into Doomerang, into fan. Yeah, okay. So that's another fan gone. So now we have another vanish. Maybe another fan? Maybe 2 blade flurries, right? Again, this is gonna be hard. We're gonna keep trying to do it though. Gonna keep trying to reload on this. Starfire, I like the idea of Starfire going face as opposed to into a dude. Violet Teacher, Wrath, Hero Power is a possibility right now. It's only 2 minions though. That's just not that many. But maybe it can make him freak out a little bit. He's used both Doomerangs. What kind of single target removal does he have left? Not that much, I don't think.
What to do? Time waits for no one.
Could also just Druid of the Claw and Wrath Hero Power. I guess maybe I like that better. I guess I took long enough, but let's, no, I'm not gonna play a dude again. I want to use that with, like, a Soul of the Forest. I don't know if this is worth or not. I don't know. It's kind of the same play, but I'm not sure it's any better. Not sure it's any better. Eviscerate, there's always gonna be something that's gonna get eviscerated. I guess it's a little worse against, Violet Teacher with Eviscerate, but that would have killed the Violet Teacher too. We gotta worry about being dead a little bit here, but I think we can probably be okay there with, like, Starfire. Although, actually, this is getting close to lethal. But I gotta kill both of these if I don't want a lethal setup here. Violet Teacher will die to Kingsbane. I guess I could Violet Teacher plus Spreading Plague. I only get 1 minion right now because trading here, unfortunately, doesn't do much for me. But that would give me 3 dudes on board. Violet Teacher, a 1/5 taunt, and no, I'd rather just Violet Teacher Starfire. But the Violet Teacher dies for free to the Kingsbane is the problem. I don't need to play the Violet Teacher this turn. Let's just Starfire and we'll get, like, Oaken Summons and or Ironwood Golem or something like that. We'll play that instead. Let's just see what we get though. Savage Roar. That ain't what I wanted. That ain't what I wanted. Hope I'm not just dead. We're gonna be dead soon to just Eviscerates, right? Actually, we're probably dead now to Eviscerate, right? We need to be at 14. We're probably just dead. I probably had a Spreading Plague. I should have thought about that a little more. Second Fan of Knives is down. So it's really just Vanish. Really just Vanish at this point, I think. That's the biggest threat. And of course, Eviscerate still, obviously. So how do I win? If I get 2 2/2s on board, does that ever win with double Savage Roar swipe? 2 2/2s is each Savage Roar 6. That's 12 plus 4 is 16, 20 damage if I stick the Soul of the Forest right now. That doesn't set up a win. I just don't see how he's healing for so much. I can't get a board built because he's never going to play enough minions to make Spreading Plague good. I don't see us getting there. Eviscerates are still lethal. That's lethal. So there you go. You can do Violent Teacher, Grub, Soul. We could, but that's really bad against Vanish. Like again, I was doing my very best to spread out as many things as I could. Right, like I wanted to suss out each of his removal options one at a time. Although, that said, at that point in the game, we shouldn't be playing around Vanish anymore, because Vanish is just lethal. At any point when Vanish becomes lethal, there's no reason to play around it from a board survivability standpoint, because you're going to die anyway, so who cares? That was fun. That was a cool exercise to try to figure out exactly how to manage all that stuff. That was really, really cool. I like that a lot. Whew, guys, I'm feeling a little tired, to be honest. I'm a little more gassed than I was expecting. Like,
I must protect the wild.
I don't know, is the medicine making me drowsy or what? But I'm feeling a little tired. Probably only going to play a couple more. I was going to go for 2 hours. We're at an hour 35. Maybe we'll still try to hit that mark, but I am a little more pooped than I expected. Yeah, that was a fun matchup, Magic Man. Yeah, it was actually pretty awesome. I have to say. I was rather pumped by it. Violet Teacher's good. Good start. We need to get out ahead. Start wrecking face. Vanish is not in Mage, which is good. We're much more resilient to regular board clears because of Soul of the Forest. Vanish just erases our Soul of the Forest is the problem. Things like Mass Dispel and Vanish are a bit harder to deal with. Wow. That's actually really annoying. Counterspell could wreck me here. Yeah. Wow, that's tough. It was a 50-50. I didn't want Explosive Runes to wreck me. Didn't want Counterspell to wreck me. So we're a bit stuck. Oh no. Not another one. That's not good. So this time it will be Explosive Runes. I'll get it wrong both times. Unfortunately. Hey, it's Counterspell maybe. Okay. Well, next turn we can perhaps Mark of the Wild with something there and make a play. I don't know if he'll trade or he might want to go for face damage and we get a sneaky value trade. Well, we won't get a value trade because it's Counterspell. But we'll be able to play Violet Teacher at least. And activate the Counterspell pretty efficiently. I definitely don't want to send Spreading Plague into it, right? So Frostbolt instead. Okay. So no value trades happening. Ooh. Oof. So much damage coming. Yeah, let's try this. I think we still get the 1/1, don't we? We don't even get the 1/1, huh? Whenever you cast a spell. I thought if it was a whenever, you still got it activated. I thought it still went off. Guess not. Guess I'm just 100% wrong. It does not do that. Oh boy, we're in trouble, guys. 13 is not much against a mage, even when they're out of cards. Even when they're out of cards, it's still tough. What was that? I didn't even see. What was that? Oh, Primordial Glyph. This thing sucks. It's gonna get buffed. I don't have a way to beat that. I don't even trade that well in any of these things. He should have saved mana for a ping, did he? He probably did. He's only played 3. Yeah, he's got a ping here. Should ping this, honestly, and trade. Which is handy if I draw a swipe, actually. That makes swipe insanely good here. Oh, please get me the swipe. Makes swipe insanely good. Oh my god, please swipe one time. One time swipe. One time swipe. Mark of the Wild. I really would love to Soul the Forest this, but I can't. This hurts. He's out of cards though, so as long as there's no like Owlin at the top deck, we might actually be able to get over the hump here. We might be able to do it. Because we have another taunting coming, and this thing buffs the health. We can still maybe get some Soul of the Forest value. Any sort of swipe or wrath helps me stabilize a little bit. Power of the Wild. Lots of stuff here helps me set this up. If he gets Alaneth, you're banned, Brodeo. You're done. You're out. Since when? Isn't it a whenever? That's what I thought too. It is. Violet Teacher's whenever. I thought it would have activated the... I thought it would have activated even though we got counterspelled. I thought it was only if it was an after. But it didn't work. Oh my god. That's just more damage. That makes Fireball a lethal top deck at this point, which is very horrifying. Very, very horrifying. Wrath is interesting for sure. I think I need to find armor, so I'm gonna Wrath for draw here as opposed to for removal. Because I really desperately need to find like Oaken Summons. I think Oaken Summons is the most important card I have. Most important thing. I'm not gonna armor because it doesn't change anything, right? Like, Fireball's lethal either way. Although, actually, it does change the 2-turn outlook. That's a consideration to make. That's actually maybe a worthwhile consideration to make. It changes the 2-turn outlook. If he draws Fireball now, I can't get ahead. Although if he pings face like he should, it wouldn't matter anyway. I would expect him to... Well, it would have ended up mattering. He pinged a minion instead. Hopefully I can punish somehow and find the armor gain. He did not find the armor gain. Alright, in that case, I'm still gonna... So now I do get a little punished if he draws Fireball this turn. Because we're now dead to Fireball, and I wouldn't have been if I'd hero powered the previous turn. It shouldn't have been anyway, because he could have been pinging face to keep me in range. Of course, he didn't have to ping face because I didn't put myself out of range, so it's kind of hard to establish the counterfactual. To say whether or not he would have been pinging face to set it up or not, we don't know. It's hard to tell. Okay, do I have lethal? 7, 8 plus 3 is 11, 12. No. So many things here gave me lethal. Fortunately, not the things we got. So Fireball still represents a kill here, unfortunately. So hopefully he doesn't top deck Fireball. He pinged face that time to put us in range again, right? It's a 1 out of 17, so I'd be rather salty if it happened. Pretty unlikely. What is that? Oh. Of course. I wondered why I didn't play his card last turn. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now I'm thinking if there's a way to find more damage previously. We maybe traded too much. The only argument to trading like we did is like Primordial Glyph into like a Flame Strike. If he had been able to clear our taunts and we'd left minions alive, he might have been able to get more damage to face and kill us. If we'd killed him faster, we wouldn't have had to worry about Pyroblast. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if that was right or wrong, to be honest. I don't know. And there you go. That was the budget token Druid, and as you saw, certainly capable of winning games even at high legend ranks, way above what the deck is designed to do, or the level it's designed to compete at. And if you're winning games against high tier decks at high ranks, certainly you can see how it's possible to win games against worse decks at lower ranks. Now I know that there are still a lot of great decks being played at rank 20 and at rank 15. People are still playing tier 1 decks. But on average, the players are going to be weaker. They're not going to execute those decks as well. They're going to make mistakes often, which gives you even more opportunity for a deck like this to win. And as you saw, it already can win. So if you know it can win at rank 3000 Legend, you know it can win at rank 15 as well. And you're even more likely to win too, as long as you play it well. So hopefully you do play it well. That said, if you have any thoughts, questions, recommendations for this deck, of course, leave all those in the comments below. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, game on.